Okay guys, it's John from ReelBlue Custom Rods and welcome back to another live edition. And there's nobody joined so far, so hopefully somebody will join, and somebody has joined the live stream for today. So whoever has joined, thanks for joining. Glad you're here. Hopefully we'll get some other people to join. And what I will do is I will go ahead and get started, and for right now it will be just you and I. So the first thing I want to do, just kind of talk about a couple things here. So this is that rod that the reel seat and the handle that I installed a couple of weeks ago. Well, actually, a couple weeks ago I did kind of the live video on how to sand down the inside to get that proper fit. And then about a week ago I showed you how I added it, everything, and it was all lined up. And so today what I just wanted to show you, there's a few things, but I was going to start with this. So this is the wrap that I've done on it, as you can see. And whoever hit the like button, thank you guys for hitting the like button. And so you can see here, I've got a spot with some gray thread, which is my, it's 819. This is size D, but it's actually a size A wrap that I used. So that's what that gray color is. That's a 819 Color Fast by Pro Wrap. And then the white is also Color Fast by Pro Wrap size A. Nylon, 455 blue color is kind of this like small trim right here on the edge. And then some metallic blue, 9470. And then what I did, I incorporated a little mesh tape right here. Thanks for the third like, whoever gave us that. And then I see just a narrow strip of mesh tape to give us that dragon scale look, if you will. And this is just a first coat of finish. And then you can see where I finished it off with tag wraps. I got to clean that up a little bit. So that's the thread that I used on that. And now what I want to show you really, because I was doing some traveling, sorry about that. Because I was doing some traveling, I had to take a break on the rod build. And because I took a break on the rod build, and because I am using on this specific build, I'm using U40's LS Supreme Duragloss finish. I've done a video on this before. Matter of fact, on the replay, I'll have a link to this video in the upper right-hand corner if you have not seen that video. So make sure you guys come back and check it out. This finish I like a lot. And but because it's been more than about 56 hours since I've had this first coat of finish I put on, I'm about to attack it with a green pad, but not that one, because that one is what I use for tearing up some other stuff. So what I'm going to do, just a standard 3M pad. You can get these at Home Depot, any hardware store, Ace, whatever. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to feel where my line is at, because if I have a little bit, again, this is my first coat of finish. And so first of all, right there, I'm going to take care of that. So right here, I have like a little piece of something sticking out of there. And everything else is okay. So, oh, right here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with this green pad. And I'm just scuffing this up a little bit. And the reason why I'm doing this, again, is because it's been longer than a couple of days. Again, because I was traveling. So it's been longer than a couple of days since I put the first coat of finish on. And so all I'm doing is scuffing that up a little bit. And I'm going to kind of come in here in the middle between the dragon scale. All right. And then what I'm going to do is come back with a shop towel and just wipe that off. And what I'm doing is I'm just scuffing up that finish, so when I put this next coat on, it will attach itself to the first coat. Yeah, so I'm just cleaning that up a little bit, maybe a little bit more right here. But I'm just doing this to make sure, again, because I had a long span between coats because I was traveling, I just want to make sure that that is going to, when I put the next coat on here later on today, that next coat will adhere itself good to this one here. So, and then I'll get into some decal stuff like that. So that is how. So that's where this build is at. I thought I'd share that with you, and I thought I'd show this to you because I don't know if you guys do that or if you knew you could do that. So I hope that helps. The next thing I want to show you guys, and I think this is, what will I call it? I will say it's probably, in my mind, one of the most important. Hey, Bruce Nichols, how's it going? Glad you're here, man. I would say it's probably one of the most pieces of an, how am I trying to say this? Probably one of the most important pieces of kit that you could have in your decorative wrap tool bag per se. And what that is a senior circle guide. And this, my friends, is a senior circle guide. And I will put a link down in the description after this video is done, after we go live and I get on the computer and put a description and all that stuff in there. I will have a link where you guys can pick these up. You can get them at Amazon. I want to say for about $8 or so. If you got a Prime account, you can get them probably a little cheaper, and you can definitely get them next day. But this is a senior circle guide, and I think this is probably one of the most important pieces of kit that you could invest in when you're doing decorative wraps. And to be quite honest, why people like Get Bit Outdoors or Mud Hole don't sell them, I don't know why. But again, I think you guys should get one of these, and I'll have a link for you, an Amazon link for you down in the description after the video. That is an important piece of kit. Well, here is why. So I have a wooden dowel here that we're going to use, and I'm going to do a little bit of decorative wrap today. But what I want to do, and I'm going to use a blue pin. So you can see I use this dowel quite often. I've got some red marks there, right? One of the hardest things I think to do is for me to come up here, make a mark with my pen on my blank, or in this case, the wooden dowel. And then how do I get that same 180 degree opposite position from the first mark that I made? Awesome, Steve. I'm glad. So you must use this before, Steve. So that's good to hear. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blank, and now the wooden dowel is a little different. The wooden dowel, you know, is one size, you know, all the way down, right? So the circumference of it is one equal size all the way down. Our fishing rod blanks are not. Some have slow tapers, some have fast tapers, and all that other good stuff. So what I like to do is I'll just take this blank, and I'll do it with the blue pen here for a second so you can see it, because I have these red marks already. So I'll take this. Actually, let me slide. I think I got one. I can go down in size here, guys. Yep, there we go. So I'll take this, line it up wherever I want to line it up at. And then I'll make my mark. Oops, sorry. Then I'll make my mark. And then what I can do is basically hold that in position. And I'm going to kind of look off to the side here. So I know that that is right in the same position. And all I'm going to do is come back here and make the same mark on the bottom. And you can see I was off a little bit. So that's really the mark right there. So that's how I get a complete 180. And again, all I'm doing is using these tick marks right here that are straight across from each other when I put that on there, right? So again, you know, a little bit bigger, you can see that that tick mark would be lined up with that mark right there. And then when I rotate it over, the next tick mark would be lined right there where I want it to be. So I think, again, that this is really an important piece of kit to have. And why? Because, again, if I make sure that my dots are exactly 180 degrees from each other, that is going, as I do my wrap, right, that is going to help me ensure that they are in line correctly. If they're in line correctly, and you're not applying too much pressure to your thread when you're wrapping, you will get a nice straight pattern or a center on your pattern when you're doing like a diamond wrap or a chevron wrap or whatever. If you look at your wraps, you know, maybe your wraps or maybe somebody else's wraps that you've seen, sometimes, you know, you've got your line straight down and then all of a sudden it gets, you know, the diamond starts to shift to the right or to the left a little bit, or the chevron's a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. So that's what the senior circle can do for you, and that's why I think this is an important piece of kit. It's going to help keep your decorative wraps or your butt wraps nice and in line with each other. And again, after this video post, or you know, once I'm done doing the live stream, I'll jump on the computer, I'll go and of course update the title and update everything, and then I will have a link where you can pick one of these up at Amazon. I'll do all the work for you. Again, I think about $8 and some change is what you can pick them up for. So I hope that tip helps, and hope you guys find it useful. The next thing I'm going to do really quick, because I just felt like kind of farting around and doing some thread wrap stuff, is one of the things I wanted to show you was just how I prepare the blank. And so, you know, you can use things like, when I'm going to set my tape aside, you can use like masking tape, which, you know, regular masking tape. I like to use for this, what I'm getting ready to do, I like to use the yellow frog tape stuff. You know, you guys can get that anywhere, any hardware store, paint store, whatever. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to rip me off a piece of this thing. And I'm just going to come in here and apply a little bit of tape, and then come back and double back over itself. And I think this, I mean, you know, I think everybody knows how to do this. I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence, but just getting that prepped and then come back over itself. All right. And then what I want to do is I'm going to do a wrap, and I'm going to just use a little bit of thread. So I'm going to use right here, this is that Pro Wrap Color Fast 807 size D, and this is white. And I think one of the threads that I wanted to use is from the SAM SFX kit, if you will. And I've done a lot of videos on there. Hey Earl, how's it going? So I wanted to, I've done videos on here, and if you haven't seen the videos on the SAM SFX threads, I'll put a link up here again on the repost of the video, and you can take a watch of that video, see how it goes. And then of course you can also pick these up at Amazon, and I'll have a link for those down there, down there in the description. Some different styles of thread, but what I really wanted to play with today was this one here, because I kind of like the colors in it. It's black, but then it's got about 3 or 4 other different colors in there. So I thought it would be kind of cool, you know, play around a little bit and take a look at stuff. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to get started, and we're going to do a little, I think what we'll do is a little diamond wrap here. And I'm just going to quickly set this up, and then get this wrap in here really quick. I'm trying to get the right spacing on this thing. Sorry guys. So right there. Right there, right there. And I'm just crossing these dots that I've got on here on this dowel that I like to use. And then that one is a little bit off, but I think it's right there because I don't have a dot there. Then I'll come down All right, so now that I got that part on there, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a mark on where I'm calling the top, and I'm calling this my top, okay? I'm calling that one my top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and continue down. So once I made my first wrap for this diamond wrap, if you guys don't know, I'm sure some of you guys do know, but in case you're new to this and you haven't done this before, so once I've done the diamond wrap, I'm going to go back this time once I did my first one. So that was here, right? So I crossed on this dot first coming over. So once I've set this baseline, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with my first wrap being on the top of that baseline, if you will. So I'm going to come up here. Nope, not the right one I want. Man, I can't. There we go. That's where I want. Right. No. Just trying to find where I. There we go. So I'm going to go right on the top here. Again, I'm not pulling tight. So this was my first, again, my top. So I was trying to get on top of this one here. A little difficult to see around the camera here. Now what I'm going to do is go across the top on this one. Not a lot of pressure. Not a lot of pressure at all. And you go down. And then we're going to come back on the bottom side of that thread, right? So I went down on the top, and then when I come back, I'm going to come back on the bottom side. And again, I'm not pulling too hard on my thread. I want it a little bit tight, but I also want it a little bit loose. That's going to, you know, allow me to manipulate the thread with my burnishing tool later. All right, so now that I did that, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back on the bottom of that thread that I was on top of. So when I went down, I was on the top. This time I'm coming across the bottom. And then when I come back, I'm going to come back on the top on this part. And then I just kind of can repeat that as many times as I want to create the diamond pattern. And so what I would like to do is I'm going to make a couple more passes, I think, on each part here. So we'll go down on the top. And then we're going to come back down on the bottom on this one. And then we'll do one more. And then this time, remember, we're going to go up on the bottom. And then we will go back down. Hey Scott, what's going on? And then we're going to go back down on the bottom, or excuse me, on the top, because we went down on the bottom here. So now we're going to come back down on the top. Okay, so we'll come down here, and then what I'm going to do, I think that's enough. Wow. Look at that, you get bloopers when you go live. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to go ahead, and I think that's enough for right now for the thread that I want to use. So all I'm going to do is basically come in here and burnish a little bit. And does, you know, the thread doesn't like to move as easy as it does when it's on a blank. And yeah, Scott, I caught some more fish last week. Caught some trout up in the alpine lakes of Colorado. So what I'm doing is I'm just wrapping and burnishing. So what I like to do is, I think a good rule of thumb is 3 to 5 wraps, and then you stop, and then you come back and burnish. And of course, you know, you take your time, because burnishing is very time consuming. But it's important. And what I mean by burnishing here, what I should have actually said is packing the thread, right? Burnishing is the process of rubbing back and forth. Packing the thread is exactly what I'm doing right now. So I just want to pack these threads in a little bit. And again, I think 3 to 5 is the right number for when you're packing the thread. I think that's a good amount of threads to move around with your burnishing tool, or whatever tool it is you're using to pack your threads. So that's where I'm at on that. I think 3 to 5 is a good number. If you agree, you know, comment below. Let me know you agree, or if you disagree and you have a different number, you can also comment below. Let me know what number of threads wraps you like to do before you stop and pack the thread. So real quick, like packing this thread. And then remember, I don't want to apply too much pressure, because I don't want to move that thread around too much. All right, and then again, I'm going to come back with this is with some of that SAM SFX thread. This is that black one. I really like this thread. I like the colors in it for some reason, and it's a bit thicker than a size A thread. That's why I'm using, this is more like about a C, I think, B, C, somewhere in a B or a C. But that's why I'm using a size D here, is because it's a little bit thicker. So when I moved it around, but I've been wanting to do this combination of threads, this white with this SAM SFX thread, for a while. And so I'm glad I'm finally getting down and doing it. So now what I'm going to do is just wrap this thread. And we're just going to repeat the same pattern. Gotcha. Steve, you knock stuff over into the epoxy, or you knock the epoxy over? That could be a pain in the butt. Oh yes. I've done that before. Or worse yet, you put a little bit of your part A in there, and then right as you're putting in your part B, you can't remember how much part A you put in there. I've done that a couple of times as well. So up on the one, down on the other. So now you can really see what I'm talking about with this color thread, right? So you can see here what I mean. Up on the one side, down on the other. And then we'll come down here to the end. And then we're going to go down on what some people refer to as the B axis, but you can call it whatever you want to call it. But you can see we're going down on this side. And then when we come back, we'll come back again on what some people refer to as the A axis, but will be on the top of the A axis. And then we'll slide that in there. And you can see the colors in here. That's why I like this SAM SFX thread. It's a little funky, but you know, the material. Am I the only one that has no sound? All right. Pause X. Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, make a comment. Okay, awesome. Whew. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it, man. Sorry, Duck. Figure out what's going on with the audio, buddy. All right, so that's what that wrap is. All right, thank you, Real Time Fishing. All right, everybody can hear. All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, so that's why I like this thread. Again, I think it's pretty neat. It's really black. It's like a black nylon thread, but then it has this blue and gold and different kind of stuff in it, almost flaky looking. So again, that's why I've been wanting to try this color combination. So I'm going to make another wrap at the top. Again, we're going down on the top on axis B, or your B axis, if you will. And as a reminder, this SAM SFX video thread that I'm using, you know, earlier, or excuse me, I will be posting a link to this in this video, you know, once I get on the computer after this one is done going live. And then also I'll have a link in there on Amazon where you can go pick it up if you're interested in picking up this thread if you don't have it already. Unfortunately, it only comes in the kit of 8 colors that I showed you guys earlier. But I think all 8 colors, you know, it's not badly priced and gives you some different options that you can use, you know, during one of your rod builds. That's for sure. So what I'm going to do is go around. Now I'm going to go down on the B axis. All right. Oops, down on the B. Okay, good, Duck. Glad to see it, man. And you got sound. Awesome. Okay. And then we're going to come on top of the A axis. All right. And then I think we'll do that one more time. We'll make that whole series wrap one more time. All right, so we're up on the B. And then we're going to come around and come down on the A. All right, let me know what you guys think so far in the comments block. What do you think so far as this is turning out, kind of the colors? And actually what I'll do is I'll give you guys a little bit closer look at it after I finish this part here. All right, and so now we're going to go down on the B. the B, and then up on the A. Yeah, so you get these blues, kind of golds, a little like reddish maroon color. Some pretty good colors that come out of this thread. It's probably my favorite one out of that kit, to be honest with you. All right, so now we're going down on the A. And what I'm doing here is finishing up this wrap. All right. Get it nice and snug there. Make sure that doesn't come off. Likes to unwind itself. All right, without packing it, that's what it looks like. Yeah, a little spicy, Scott, a little spicy. So that's what it looks like up close. And I'm trying to do you guys a little justice here, trying to find the sweet spot. And so I got to repack that thread still, but that's what that black looks like on that white. So again, we're going to pack the thread. I'm just going to come in, use my burnishing tool or whatever tool you have that you like to use to pack your thread. And then we just kind of get in there, start moving some stuff around. Not too much pressure, because remember, we're not trying to move the whole line over. We're just wanting to move a little bit of that thread. And sometimes I'd find it easier just kind of lay it there and turn the blank. And that'll help me kind of keep that lined up a little bit. All right, and then same thing on the top part here. And just pack that in. Again, you know, basic diamond wrap here with some blue, excuse me, with some white color fast thread by Pro Wrap, and then this black spacey looking color by SAM SFX. And so that's where we're at right there. So again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments block if you like that color combination, if you think it looks good. Now the question is, what do I want to follow up with? I can continue to wrap with this color and kind of expand that out. I can come in here with a little bit more white, you know, or I could maybe try a little bit of this blue because it's in there. You know what? Let's give it a go. Let's just try it really quick. All right, so wrap that down. Oh, awesome! Glad to hear it. Thanks, Marcus and Duck. All right, so back on the top. So on the B axis, we're going down on the top. And we'll kind of wrap this around. I have no plan of attack here. I'm just kind of, as far as the colors I'm using, right, and the pattern, I just kind of winging this. See how it turns out. I mean, in my mind, it's really the only way you kind of figure stuff out or get better at stuff, you know what I mean, just by practicing it. And I know I've said it before in other videos, but that's why I really like these wooden dowels. You know, it's hard. You know, you don't want to practice on a blank. You know what I mean? And so, like, if you're just trying to come up with color schemes, the nicest dowel in town. I agree, Scott. So if you're just trying to come up with color schemes or work through a pattern, I think dowels are the best way to go, man. The only problem that is you're using a lot of thread to do it, but at the end of the day, I mean, I think thread is kind of reasonably priced, depending on how much thread you're buying, and it's worth it in my mind to practice. So now I'm going down on the B. So I think it was a total about 5 of those white wraps, the center, and then 3 on each side. So really, I guess 3 or 4. And then, well, I guess in the center, it'd be a total of 7. Because I had the base wrap and then 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. And then I did 3 on the top and the bottom with the SAM SFX thread. And so now I'm just trying to think how many I want to do with this blue thread. But I might, oh, I got an idea. All right, I got an idea. So we're going to go with 1 of these blue threads. And then we're going to switch to another color. All right, we'll lock that down. Man, this blue thread, stick. Sorry, guys. Trying to get this blue thread to stick to this tape. Okay, so where did it go? Here we go. I want to do, because that color is pretty, oh man, and it happened. That blue thread came off. Yep, you can see all the way down. Okay, we got to fix this really quick. And I hate when that happens, and I'm sure you guys do too as well. All right, so once I get this blue thread on here, and we get it locked down in place. Michael from Michigan, welcome to the channel, man. Glad to see you. Hope you find the video useful, my friend. All right, so now what I'm going to do, because gold can be a little overpowering. So I said you can just got this, like, I really said red, maroon color, but as I look at it, it's really more purple. So I did that light blue. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some metallic purple. And then it's probably going to be time for me to add a little bit more tape down there, but so I'm just going to come in here. Again, basic diamond wraps, and I'm going to go down on the B, on the top of the B. Go down on the top of the B, and then we're going to come back on the bottom of the A. All right. Okay, not too tight. I don't want to apply too much pressure. And depending on how this comes out, I might have to do this on a rod. I'm getting ready to do some, I know if you guys watch Mudhole, I know Mudhole went live yesterday. ironically, they talked about hard water bills or ice fishing, and ironically, I'm getting ready to start doing that style of rod, but really not for ice fishing. I mean, it could be used for ice fishing, but I'm gonna make some rods the same style, but for something else, be used for something else, and I'll share that with you guys once I get cracking on them, and I'll do some videos on them. But I'm gonna keep it close hole for right now, and then let you guys know what it is once I get started on them. So, all right, but now I'm going down on the B, on the bottom. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to down on the B and then come back on top of the A. I don't know why I can't get this purple thread to kind of rotate in my hand. And then we're going to come down on the A. All right. Coming down on the A on this diamond wrap. And then we're going to call it quits with this purple. But I don't know why I can't get this thing to rotate in my hand right. I'm going to cheat a little bit there. All right, so that takes care of the purple and that takes care of the blue. And then I'm going to do one more color before I come in there and pack that. And I'm thinking it's going to be this gold color right here that matches that gold inside that SAM SFX thread. And if you're just joining and you didn't see really what the important part, I don't want to say the important part of this video, but what the tool I was showing that I think is probably one of the most important pieces of kit you could have. It is the Senior Circle Guide. And again, that's what this is right here. So if you did not see that, this is the Senior Circle Guide. This is what I use to make sure that my marks on my blank are exactly 180 degrees from each other on the blank. And I will have a link for that down in the video description after this video post where you can go pick that up. And yes, it did. The purple did come off a little bit, but I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. All right, so now the gold. So we're going to just do one wrap of this gold. And again, I just picked the colors that were inside that black SAMSFX to add at this point in the wrap. You know, again, this is totally unplanned, just kind of winging it. But I kind of like the colors that we're choosing here. So we're going to come down on the A this time. We went up on the B, down on the A. There we go. And then we'll do one more going down on the B and then back on the A here in a second. And so down on the B. And remember this back here, this part that I have the tape on, remember, I really don't care about that because I'm going to end up doing an overwrap to cover that. Or if I was doing this on a blank, I would be doing an overwrap to cover that. So I'm not worried about if it's a little crooked or, you know, out of place a little bit. All right. And then, all right. And then we're coming down on the A. Gold ties the scheme back to the thread. Yep, sure does. Well, the gold, I think the gold, the purple, and the blue because they're all three are in there, and it's just the angle that you look at it. And but what we'll do, let me finish this up real quick, and then we'll get a close up with the camera. All right. And then we'll set that down. And hopefully that gold won't pop off a little bit. Here, put it right there on that sticky part. Okay, so without doing any packing of the thread, so you can see inside that black, there's a little bit of blue, a little bit of purple, and a little bit of gold. And so that's why I kind of went back to those three colors. So, all right. And then what I want to do now is I just want to come in here, use my burnishing tool or whatever tool that you like to use to pack your thread. And then what I'm going to do here, just lay my burnishing tool down, rotate the blank. And that'll help me move those threads a little bit. Remember, again, not too much pressure. I don't want to knock that whole thing out of alignment. I just want to move a little bit of thread around. And then this gold is coming loose. All right. And then the same thing this way. Holy smokes, this gold thread is killing me. All right. I'm going to turn that. Again, just a little bit of pressure. Little bit of pressure, guys. Just getting that back into the spot. There we go. And that's kind of it there. And so I've got it moved around a little bit. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to slap another piece of tape on here because this gold thread is giving me problems. So I'm just going to put a little bit more tape on this to hold this in place. There we go. Now just allow me to lock that down and then double side it here. Just like that. All right. So what I want to do now, I think, is I'm going to repeat this last three wraps with the purple, the blue, and the gold. But now I'm going to leave just a one strand of gold there, and I'm going to come back with the purple, and then the blue. And then we're going to go down on the top on A, or excuse me, B, on the top of B. And so I'm just kind of trying to sandwich that gold between these two purples. All right. And then we're going to come down on the A, so on the bottom of the A, or the A axis. Oh, what happened? Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? All right, got to back it off. My purple came loose. All right, so we'll restart that part again. So we're going to go back down on the upper part of the B, or the B axis. All right. And then we're going to come down on the bottom of the A. All right. And I will tell you, as you guys probably already know, this can be pretty tedious, man. Pretty tedious, but patience is the key here. All right, so kind of sandwich that gold in there between the purple. And now what I'm going to do is going to come back with the blue to sandwich the purple and the gold between the blue, because that's the one we first went down on. All right, so we're going down on the upper part of the B. All right. And then we're going to come down on the lower part of the A. Oh, you know what? I skipped a step. See, that's what I'm talking about. You start doing all this stuff and get sidetracked a little bit. So what I didn't do is I didn't go with the purple. I didn't go down on the B and back on the upper part of the A. My fault, guys. I'm sorry about that. That means you guys didn't catch it. Give me a warning. I'm just kidding. All right, so now we're going to go back. It's the last part. So we did the first part with this purple. Now we're just going to go back and get that bottom part cleaned up. All right. And then we'll pause. After I get that blue on there, we'll take a look. So that was down on the B, and now we're going to come back on the top of the A to close in this part of the gold thread that we did. There you go. All right. Okay. So we'll take care of that. And now we're going to finish out with that blue. We'll get this blue wrapped on here. All right. Then we're going to go up. Oops. We're going to go up on the A, or the B right there. And we'll go down there, and then we're going to come back on the bottom of the A axis. And then we will go back on the bottom of the B. And then come back down on the top of the A. So bottom of the B. and then there we go, bottom of the B, and then top of the A. And we can really kind of do, you know, really whatever we want. We can come back with the white. We can come back with that, you know, that black SAM SFX color that has this blue, purple, and gold in it, which is probably what I'm going to do, but we'll see. All right. There we go. And I'm just checking my work, make sure, yeah, it went everywhere that I was supposed to go. Yep. Blue, 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 blue. Okay. So what I'll do is close that off there. I'm going to use a piece of tape just to make sure that doesn't come unraveled again. All right, and then again, without packing the threads, you could use a color blank or do a base wrap of yellow before the diamond. Yes, you most definitely could. You most definitely could do that. And that's a great recommendation. So that's what that looks like. So all I'm going to do now, though, is just come back in and pack the thread. And by the way, I can see I've been going at this for 57 minutes. So if, I know you guys have important time. So I just want to thank you. If you've been staying with me the whole time or just even just joining, you're watching, hey, I do truly appreciate it. Thanks for hanging with me. So I'm just packing this thread slightly. Again, just turning the rod and using my burnishing tool to help me pack the thread a little bit. And just rotate. I like this pattern. I'm definitely going to have to see, again, this is the great thing about using dowels or just spare blanks that you guys have, and just practicing, man, and just messing around with color combinations and the thread that you guys have. And then it just kind of gives you a way to come up with some patterns and stuff, and some color options. So again, that's what that looks like. And so I'm really trying to take a look at what we want to do. How often do I go live, Michael? Very seldom. Up until about 3 weeks ago, I probably went live twice in about 5 years, 4 years. Lately, every week. So the last 3 weeks, usually on Mondays at 4:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Mondays. But because I was traveling, I just had a short release on Monday. So today, which is another day, I usually release my videos at midnight on Wednesday mornings and Thursday mornings. And so today I'm doing a live because I didn't do it on Monday. So as of right now, Michael, I've done it 3 times. So once a week is when I'm trying to go live and show you guys some different stuff. So these were the 3 threads that we just used in the middle. Again, that if you like this one, that's 9440 Pro Wrap Metallic. That's kind of a light blue. 9600 purple. I usually use a lot of this purple color. And then the gold is 9120, that shade. Oh, awesome. Thanks, brother. Yeah, it sure is, Duck. And then this is the white 807 Color Fast Pro Wrap, or Pro Wrap Color Fast. And then this is the black SAM SFX with those different colors in it. And that comes, again, from this kit here. The SAM SFX kit comes like that. It's got 8 colors in it. You can get it from Amazon. And again, once I'm done posting this video live, I will have a link to this video embedded in this video for everybody else that's not, you know, with us today on the live version that can come back and watch it. But I also have a link for this thread if you want to buy it down in the description here as soon as we're done with today's show, or today's video. So what I'm thinking I want to do is either come back with the white or come back with the black with this SAM SFX. And I feel like if I come back with the black, does it blend it all in? And if it does, great. I mean, does it look good? Or do I come back with the white to see what it does? So I'm going to kind of meet myself in the middle. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here really quick with a little bit of white. And when a little bit, I mean a little bit. I think we're going to make one wrap, one pass. And I'm just hoping I don't shoot myself in the foot for this, because I really think I want the black on the other side of it, because it would just, it seems like it would go with it. You know what I mean? Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm going with the black. Sorry for being indecisive, guys, but I'm going with the black. So we're going to come back with this SAM SFX thread. And we'll come in here. And we're going to go right beside that blue thread. Oh, you never know, Scott. You never know, man. Lately, I've been using a lot of black, gold, and red. Metallic red, nylon black, and metallic gold. Not gold, excuse me, gunmetal color. That's the three colors I've been doing a lot on, because I've been building a lot of rods for one of my customers lately. And so that's the primary colors of, of his business. So I've been building a lot of red, black, and gunmetal colored rods. I've been using a lot of that thread, but I do have a rod I'm getting ready to start building, a 9.5 foot downrigger or trolling rod. It's a great rod. It's an MHX blank. It can handle basically 17-ounce cannonball on the Columbia River when you're trolling for salmon. And so they're quality rods. But I'm getting ready to start building one of those for a customer down in Oregon. So I'll be doing a lot of thread or purple thread work when that happens. So this is one pass. I'm going to come down across the top on this one now. Man, I think I'm glad I chose to come in here with this black instead of the white on this pass. So I'm going to, yeah, Duck Yar. I mean, what we're going to call finished for a video. I'm not going to fill out the whole wrap, I don't think. But maybe we will. Maybe I can do that and we can pick it up from another video. So I don't know. We'll see. Nope. So I want to go back down. Yep. Thanks. I appreciate it, Andrew. I agree, man. 100%, dude. 100%. So now we're going to go back down and make a second. And I think I'm going to do a total of 3, because that's what I had on the other side of that purple, gold, and blue color. All right, so down on the B, and then we'll come back on the bottom of the A. All right. Bottom of the A. And then we're going to go on the bottom of the B. And we'll come back down on the top of the A. And I'm going to come down on top of the A. And I'm thinking here, like, would you fill it out, with a wrap, and continue to build this out? I mean, you could, but I'm almost wondering, like somebody else made a comment. I think it was Michael made the comment about doing a under wrap underneath it. And I'm almost kind of thinking that that's what I think would look really good. If you had an under wrap I don't know. I think gold might be too much, but if you had some sort of colored underwrap, I think that would look pretty good. I mean, I think building it out would look good as well, but you know, I think an underwrap would be good, and then you just accentuate this one diamond pattern instead of incorporating something else. So this is the third time I'm doing this, this strand here, and then we're gonna stop and pack the thread. But that'll be equal to what we were doing before. All right. Okay, and then we're going to go down on the bottom and then come back on top of the A, and then we'll stop this thread wrap here and we'll cut it and pack the thread. All right. And then down on the A, on top of the A, if you will. All right, and now we're going to pack this thread here. All right, so we'll pack the thread. So again, use our burnishing tool and then just rotate. Actually, I'll start down here. And just rotate, turn, rotate, turn. And this is a little bit more forgiving, the black one, because it's got that nylon in it. I've always thought nylon thread is a little bit more forgiving when you're burnishing it or packing the thread. Okay. So I'm just going to go around, just taking a look. All right. So I think that looks pretty good. So that's what it looks like. So you can see that color in there. I think that looks pretty good. You have that black SAM SFX thread with the blue, purple, and the gold. And then we kind of, you know, got that blue, purple, gold, purple, blue kind of in the insert right there in the middle. And then I think just for safe measure, if you will, we're just going to frame it out with a little bit of white. Just so we can see it. And then once I put this one piece of white in here, I mean, we could put several pieces of white thread. You know, you can do just a one piece of white thread, and then you can kind of reverse build out your wrap here. If you wanted, that would be another thing that you could do. So we're gonna keep going here. All right. And then I'm going to come down on the bottom. All right. Come down on the bottom, and now we're going to come back on the top of the A, and that'll be framed out. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. So, and we'll just tape that off. All right. And I'll just take a piece of tape, make sure that holds it down. All right, and that's it. So we framed it out a little bit, and then now that way you can see it. So that's my throwaway piece down here. So there you go. That's what it looks like. So it's a diamond wrap. Again, the star of the show, though, really today was the Senior Circle Guide. Again, I'll have a link for this down there. I think this is a really important piece of kit to have when you guys are building out your rods. If you're interested in purchasing it, I'll have a link for you down there in the description where you can pick this up. But again, just to highlight, this is a great tool, a great way to make sure you have exactly 180 degree. If you make a mark on your blank, you come right around here to have the other blank by, of course, sliding that down. For those that you did not see that, by sliding the Senior Circle Guide down, you make a mark where your black tick mark is, you rotate the rod, and then you make it where the next black tick mark is. So, and you can do that, you know, on your 4 cardinal or clock directions, right? 12, 3, 6, and 9, and 12, 3, 6, and 9. So you can have marks on the side of the rod if you wanted to incorporate something on the side. If you wanted to start something, you could have a dot on the side if you're going to start filling that in. So that's just, again, a great tool to have. Reasonably priced, about $8 and some change. And you can pick it up at Amazon at the link down in the description below. So, hey, thanks for hanging with me. I know we went a little long. We're about 72 minutes, but thanks for hanging out. I appreciate the support. I hope you guys are able to get something out of this video. Please, if you did not already do so, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, and until next time, I'll see you guys live next week. And always stay tuned for tomorrow's video as well. So hope to see you guys. You're welcome, Scott. And thanks for supporting the channel. Until next time, make sure you guys watch this next video here. Take care. Bye.